I'm glad you asked that question. There are some things that we could do as a state that would help us get a better picture. First of all, one of the things we did was a couple years ago we did pass a law which now requires us, and the governor signed it, to do a 3-year projected budget. That has really been helpful because it allows us to put in context what the next fiscal year is going to be, which quite frankly when I got down there everything was siloed. That's why if you had revenue growth of 20% in one year like we did, oddly enough we managed to spend 27% in growth, in spending growth. But that's because nobody was looking for the out years, and so we do that now. So that's a good thing. Now the other couple of things that we need to do, in my opinion we have to do these things, is we have to create an independent revenue forecasting body. Most states have that. The problem with ours is that revenue forecasting becomes a political dynamic. Let me give you an example. This year, the executive was asking for 7.4% as their projected growth forecast for 2015. All of the economists in the state were kind of moving to about 5.3. Each point difference is $95 million. So the executive was projecting almost $200 million more in growth in 2015 than the legislative branch. Now the legislative branch, ultimately we were able to move that revenue forecast our way. But you need to get this idea that it's not a political football taken care of. And so we actually had a bill. I've been working with my staff, and a bill came forward out of the House. We tried to get that forward and we couldn't get that through the finish line. We have to get that done. Most states have that, but they haven't done enough to insulate it from political causes. So that's one of the things that we have to do. And the other positive thing about that is most credit rating agencies, which rate Arizona third from the bottom in state credit worthiness, they've suggested that we do that, and that's critical. The other thing that in my mind, that we have to do as far as eliminating the structural deficit is we need to have a serious conversation about formula growth rates that are in statute that we are subject to. A third thing that would be very helpful is if we could eliminate Prop 105, which means that we are stuck and bound with whatever the voters say, regardless of our financial system. So if we have basically limited control of the general fund as a legislative body. What happens is the voters have voted to spend money here or there, and we get stuck. We have to do that regardless of the impact on our revenues. So if our revenues are shrinking, which by the way they are right now, if our revenues are shrinking, we cannot account for shrinking revenue due to these voter protected budgetary constraints. So those are some issues that I think that if we could address successfully, you would be able to get to a place where we're balancing that our budget structurally, as well as we've been the last couple of years cash balanced. So I mean, this is a subject I could talk on for a long time. So.